Hey there, Internet! My name is Chris, and welcome back to Wizard Way. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you, as always, for your unending patience. Real life has been really tough the last week or so, and I haven't been able to film nearly as much as I was hoping. I was also in Orlando this last weekend, but the heat was so intense at the parks that I couldn't even manage to do a live stream. So, live streams at the Universal Studios in Orlando are currently on hiatus, but I will get back to those as soon as the weather cools off a little bit here in Florida. In the meantime, I do have a fun little video today. I am going to be reacting to the Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald trailer. It dropped a couple weeks ago, and I have been trying very hard not to spoil myself. I didn't have time to film before, but now I can film, so I'm going to do my reaction. I have not seen the trailer yet, and this will be my first time viewing it. So, come along with me. I hope you guys have probably seen the trailer already, but hopefully you'll enjoy my reaction. So let's get started, shall we? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, let's do this. And start. Oh man.
I'm scared, Professor Dumbledore.
Oh, I can't wait for Dumbledore.
Everyone is scared of something.
Ridiculous!
Newt,
Ooh.
you're up next.
I love seeing him as Defense Against the Dark Arts
That's an
teacher.
unusual one. What Mr. Scamander fears above everything else is...
Having to work in an office, sir.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Newt.
Ridiculous.
Oh, I love the graphics there. Special effects are awesome.
Magic blooms only in rare souls.
Oh man, there's a circus. I'm sold if there's a circus. Deluminator, very cool.
But the old ways serve us no longer.
And there's Johnny Depp.
I take it you've heard the rumors. Grindelwald had a vision.
Ooh, my
Rise
goodness.
to dominance over the wizarding world.
So you're asking me to help hunt him down?
I can't move against Grindelwald.
Oh my
It
gosh.
has to be you. In your shoes, I'd probably refuse to. It's late. Good evening, Newt. Oh, come on.
Come on. I think Dumbledore gets that reaction a lot.
You underestimate your talents, Mr. Scamander.
Their arrogance is a key to our victory.
Dumbledore's arrogance? Or...
Muggles are not lesser. Not disposable.
Oh my gosh.
You're too good, Newt. You never met a monster you couldn't love.
Treatise!
Oh my gosh! Oh my god.
Do you think Dumbledore will mourn for you?
Oh my gosh, with the Deathly Hallows symbol?
Are you a ghost?
No, I'm alive. But I'm an alchemist and therefore immortal.
Oh,
Nicolas Flamel.
Jacob Kowalski.
Oh,
Day over 375.
That's great. Oh my gosh. I love that Nicolas Flamel is in there. That's really cool. I had seen like one quick little like speck of a teaser on that and oh man, I'm so excited. Oh man, there are several elements that totally have me sold on this movie. Even if people aren't as into Fantastic Beasts as they were into Harry Potter, This film looks really awesome. Like, not only are the special effects out of this world, and you can totally tell just from the trailer, but we do get a lot of really good new character development, and I'm really looking forward to that. Going back through, there are a couple things that I really want to focus on as points of interest for at least myself. First, I'm really excited to see Dumbledore as Professor of Defense Against the Dark Arts. We know that later on he becomes the Professor of Transfiguration, but I like that we're seeing him in a slightly different role because obviously the change from Defense Against the Dark Arts is going to be a bit of a plot point somewhere along the line. Because we know that he becomes the Transfiguration Professor, it's obviously something that's going to be explained, like why the change. And frankly, I'm assuming that Grindelwald has something to do with that. I also really loved like the revisiting of the Bogart in Defense Against the Dark Arts because that particular baddie that they learn how to defend themselves against is really telling. It's a great tool that they use in the films to explain a character and give a little bit of depth to character. I mean, it's how we figured out that Lupin was a werewolf, and there were all these little things, little character attributes that you could totally see revealed by everybody facing the Bogart. And seeing a young Newt is absolutely adorable. Oh my gosh, I love seeing grown characters in younger times in their lives. I love taking sort of a look back at the past for a character, and seeing Newt really young is just a really fun addition to this. I'm really excited to see a little bit of Hogwarts past, and certainly Newt as a younger character and Dumbledore as a younger character. Second point of interest for me is, oh my gosh, there's a circus in this one. Okay, so for those who don't know me really well, I love Cirque du Soleil. Like, Cirque du Soleil inspired me to do what I do, which for those who don't know me is massage therapy, aromatherapy, and kinesiological sciences, which is sort of like exercise science. The whole reason I got into that was I saw a Cirque du Soleil show when I was like 16 and fell in love. So we see in this film, there's a circus called Le Cirque Arcanus. I'm not sure how they pronounce that. It's probably Arcanus. But if it's in French, Arcanus? I have no idea. Oh, forgive me if you're French. I butcher the French language all the time and I apologize. But it says Musée de Curiosité Vivante. So that's basically a museum of live curiosities. Which really brings me back to like P.T. Barnum. If there's seriously like a magical circus, I am so down for it. I can't wait to see even just a snippet of that. And from the banners that are sort of on either side of the tent in the trailer, it makes it seem like the curiosities are going to involve beasts. And so maybe that's where Newt comes into play here, because circuses, especially traveling carnivals, notoriously known for animal abuse. So maybe Newt is involved with that and he'll be saving some animals from unsavory conditions. But this last weekend I saw The Greatest Showman for the first time and just, oh my gosh, I'm so on a circus hype right now. Can't wait to see any sort of circus or carnival setting within the Harry Potter universe. Totally looking forward to that. Third point of interest, when you look into the Mirror of Erised, you see your deepest, darkest desire, and we see in this snippet that Dumbledore looks into the Mirror of Erised and he sees Grindelwald, and that excites me. Not only because it hints at their relationship, which we know was very intense. We're not given details as to whether or not that was intimate in the physical sense, but we do know that there was a great love between Grindelwald and Dumbledore, and that they shared ideas, they shared ambitions, and eventually they parted, probably violently. We're probably going to see hints of that relationship in this movie, but I don't think it's really going to unravel until maybe the next film or even 2 films. We do know that Fantastic Beasts is going to be a 5-film series, so we're probably going to have to wait for a little while. But I am okay with that. I like that they aren't necessarily erasing Dumbledore's sexuality. His identity is really important, and it's especially important for people like me who are in the LGBTQ spectrum. I like seeing a little bit of representation, even if it's only hinted at, and we can hope for something more explicit in the later films. I think I also saw an interview at one point with Jude Law, who plays the young Dumbledore, and he was talking about how seeing Grindelwald in the Mirror of Erised, it not only represents that he loves this man, but also it's telling because the mirror doesn't just show you what you want, it doesn't show you what you need, necessarily. It just tells you what your deepest desire is, whether or not that is actually good for you. And that's why Dumbledore in Philosopher's Stone warns Harry that you aren't supposed to lose yourself in the mirror, because it's so easy to lose yourself in that illusion and forget to live. And so, at least in this trailer, we see a little hint of that with Dumbledore, that he could easily lose himself in the illusion of being together with Grindelwald again, having reconciled. But even though that's his desire, it's probably not the best thing for him, and that's what makes the mirror so painful. But I love seeing that detail in there. Jude Law also mentioned in that interview that Grindelwald to Dumbledore sort of represents temptation. Like, everything in the mirror represents temptation. And so Grindelwald sort of draws Dumbledore in, and I think the reason behind sending Newt after him is because Dumbledore knows he's too close to this. He's too close, intimately involved with Grindelwald, that if he gets too close to him, he'll probably, you know, not to borrow too strenuously from Star Wars, but he'll probably fall to the dark side. Dumbledore is definitely a character that has both light and dark. This is why it's so easy for me to put together a video at some point of all the reasons I hate Dumbledore, but I like that we're seeing more depth to his character. And my camera died. Take two. Point number 4, I am really excited that we get to see Credence again. I thought after the end of the last movie, we were not really going to see much of him anymore, but obviously he's in the trailer here, so I'm super stoked to see more of his character, and he's obviously involved in a big way, so I can't wait to see what they do with Credence in this movie. And point number 5, promise this is the last one, I like seeing the Deathly Hallows here and there. I mean, we saw it obviously with that last symbol, and if you aren't quite familiar with the significance of the Deathly Hallows as it relates to the characters in this film franchise, the symbol of the Deathly Hallows not only represents the 3 Deathly Hallows themselves, but it's also the chosen symbol of Grindelwald. He actually used that symbol to sort of represent his brand. It was scratched into the wall of Durmstrang when he was expelled, and a lot of his followers actually used it as a symbol of their loyalty to him. So seeing the Deathly Hallows symbol sort of implies that we're going to be seeing Grindelwald at sort of the height of his power, or at least coming into the height of his power, which is pretty exciting. We also did see that little snapshot of a close-up of the Elder Wand, and that makes me wonder, are we going to see sort of the backstory of Dumbledore actually getting the Elder Wand? I don't know if they're going to just show him with it, and maybe it'll be done in flashback, or maybe he actually acquires the Elder Wand during the course of this movie. I'm not sure, but I'm really interested in seeing what they do with that. The Elder Wand plays such a large role in the whole plot of the Harry Potter books, especially the demise of Voldemort. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they show its significance in relation to Grindelwald, and how Dumbledore and Grindelwald are going to react to one another with regards to the Elder Wand. And as a little bonus, I am really looking forward to seeing Nicolas Flamel in here, because I was always so irate that they made a visual representation of Beauxbatons in the Goblet of Fire movie as just being like a female-only school, which wasn't the case at all. Obviously, Nicolas Flamel, he graduated probably with honors from Beauxbatons. He's this famous alchemist, and yet most people don't realize he's from Beauxbatons because they've only seen the movies and only think that girls go to that school, and that's not the case. I swear, every time I rewatch Goblet of Fire, I'm like, get it together! There are boys at this school. There are girls at Durmstrang. These are not gender-specific schools. They are co-ed. I want to see some strong female characters in furs, and I want to see some boys in silk. Why is that so hard? Seriously. Mini rant over. But I hope everybody enjoyed the trailer. I'm super excited about so many little elements, and there are probably so many details that I didn't even notice in this trailer. I'm really, really stoked. So I hope everybody enjoyed this quick review of the trailer and my reaction, and more content will be on the channel soon. Thank you guys so much for your patience with me as I get back into the whole daily grind of filming and editing. I will try and get more up on the channel soon, and until then, take care, and Nox.